Good afternoon. After 21 hours locked in talks in Pakistan, the US and Iran have failed to reach an agreement. The already fragile and temporary ceasefire has now been called into question. Our international editor, Emma Murphy, sent this update from Iran's capital, Tehran.
So the talks are at an end without any obvious progress. The big question now is whether this means there will be a return to war in this country, or whether time will be given and the ceasefire can stay in place. After 21 hours of talks, it's clear there was no greater progress than 40 days of war has brought. And so that would suggest that returning to war is not necessarily going to be a particularly successful strategy. That in itself does not mean that it will not happen. In terms of the main sticking points, well, we understand that the Strait of Hormuz, unsurprisingly, was the big issue. And although the meetings between J.D. Vance and Mohammed Khalibaf, the leader of the Iranian parliament, were cordial, they did not find some common ground that they could agree over the strait. Iran very much wants to hold on to its sovereignty of it, which is not surprising given it's its real leverage and power now. The United States, for exactly the same reasons, do not want to allow Iran to have control of it. And of course, there are still the issues of Lebanon outstanding. With regard to nuclear, the Iranians say that they will go back to the position that was agreed in Geneva, which was that they would publicly affirm that they have no wish for a nuclear weapon. But in a way, the nuclear question has become the side issue. The Strait of Hormuz is the most critical. So it's really all in the American ballpark now. They have to decide what they plan to do. Will they decide that even though 40 days of war has not achieved what they sought, they will return to it? Potentially they will. Maybe they will give a chance to the back channels, because so much is at stake here, not just for this country, but also for the global economy and the knock-on effects that that has for politicians and people around the world.
Emma Murphy reporting there from Tehran. In other news, Ukraine and Russia have mutually accused each other of breaking a short ceasefire coinciding with Orthodox Easter celebrations. The Ukrainian military said Russian forces had committed over 2,000 violations since the truce began 24 hours ago. The Russians responded by accusing Ukraine of nearly 2,000 violations. Well, back here, and specialist teams are being sent to NHS trusts with the highest rates of corridor care. The government say it's to help end the undignified practice. According to the latest NHS figures, almost 55,000 patients waited over 12 hours for a bed in February across all hospitals in England. The Royal College of Nursing told us every hospital needs help.
Focusing on those that are most troubled by corridor care is a good way to start, but there is action needed everywhere. The root of the issue is that there just isn't enough capacity across community, in mental health, as well as across our acute hospitals.
More than 500 people between the ages of 18 to 87 were arrested during a demonstration in support of Palestine Action. Hundreds were demonstrating against the ban on the prescribed organisation in central London yesterday. The ban was ruled unlawful in February by the High Court, but has remained in place pending an appeal. And the legendary Bollywood singer Asha Bhosle has died at the age of 92. In a career spanning more than 80 years, she recorded more than 12,000 tracks that were used in countless Bollywood movies, with actors lip-syncing to her distinctive and iconic vocals. India's Prime Minister said her voice carried the soul of the country's cinema and culture. And that is all for now. ITV News is back at 6:30. Until then, do enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Bye-bye.